Hey y'all, it's April, host of Bitches and Bourbon. Today we're going to do things a little bit different simply because we did things a little bit different. Last book club, we decided to have the ladies stay over while Reba and I recorded the second Penelope episode. While it was a wonderfully good time, it makes for a little confusing audio. It gets a little all over the place. So instead of nixing the whole episode, I figured I'd just jump in, clean it up where we needed to, and move on with our lives. Because that's what we do. We jump in, clean it up, and move on with our lives. Thanks for hanging out. Welcome to Bitches and Bourbon.
This is going to be your best podcast ever.
Epicurean. But OFC and pink lemonade's pretty damn good. It'll put your boat in the marsh. Jesus did not die so you could eat yellow number 5. Excitable.
The nose starts off gentle with noticeable sense of grain that takes shape in the form of fresh baked bread.
Ma'am, you're in the wrong podcast. Educated-ish. I have used the term overproof for so long without really knowing what it
constitutes.
Yeah, because for
Is
me,
there a definition officially?
welcome to Bitches and Bourbon. And we're live. Hello, Reba. How are you doing this evening?
I'm good.
What was that? What the hell?
Yeah.
You should be all warmed up. What is your deal?
Maybe that is the problem. I'm warmed up. Usually we're starting fresh.
We're not starting fresh. We're not starting fresh at all. Like we've never done it this way before.
I know.
So
but I'm good.
you're good?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
You?
All right.
How are you?
Oh, I'm lovely.
Yeah.
So what we've done this evening, which is really kind of fun, is we've decided, so book club had to be rescheduled. So it's usually during the week. But tonight, book club happened on a Friday.
Whoop, whoop.
Hey! So what we decided to do was we were going to record an episode right after we had book club. So we've had guests before, and guests are always fun. But today, I kind of feel more like we have a studio audience.
Yes, we do. And it's so exciting.
It is so cool. So what I want to do really, really quick, I'm not putting anybody on the spot. I am going to put you on the spot later, but I'm not going to put you on the spot right now, except for to say, would you go ahead and introduce yourself really quick?
Yes, of course. I'm Tamala Buttrey.
Hey, Tamala. Tamala. Okay, I got to stop. Tamala, if you'll remember, is my glass lady. Do you remember when I told you that Bitches and Bourbon is now environmentally proactive?
Yes.
Tamala has allowed me to do that. So
Yay!
Thank you so much. All right, next.
Hi there, this is Silva.
Oh, we know her. Next.
Hi, this is Siobhan.
Oh, Siobhan is new.
Hello,
Siobhan.
Siobhan.
Hello, world.
Hey, Kobe.
All right, so what we thought we would do is we wouldn't get too heavy this evening and all the things. What we thought we might do is our last episode, we talked about Penelope.
Yes.
And we talked about their story, which is still fantastic. If you haven't listened to that episode, now is probably a really great time to hear that. It's super interesting to watch people that have been really successful in the industry and in the culture really talk about shit they just don't know, which was a whole lot of fun for me.
Yes.
But because Penelope has so many offerings and because I love them all and have them all,
And we were not trying them all in one night.
no, because editing that kind of wonky ass
Rabbit hole became a shit
speaking
show.
in italics just becomes
And that
bullshit.
was just
Like,
with
it's not-
3?
Yeah, it's not fun.
We had 5 Penelopes.
Reba and I start talking in calligraphy, and then I go back the next day and try to edit it, and it just fucking sucks. So we decided we weren't doing that this time. So we still have 2 more Penelopes. I feel like we'll really only have 1 Penelope that we didn't talk about because the 2 bottles that we didn't open were the Architect, which I talked about profusely because it is my favorite. But the one that we did not touch at all is the Penelope Rose Cask finish.
Correct.
So in all transparency, Reba and I are not doing a first taste on the podcast because that's what we drank during book club.
We did a first taste opening book club.
All right, so this one that we're dealing with right now is Penelope's Rose Cask finished straight bourbon whiskey. We bought it at Jeff's early May. I paid $60 something for it. This is part of their Cooper Series Batch 5. It comes in at a 94 proof, 47%. So the rosé wine comes from the southern Rhone region. I don't speak French, so I'm probably not even saying that right, which will happen a couple of times this evening, I'm sure. But it comes from the Rhone region in France. It starts out in the Alps, and it goes through the Mediterranean, goes through Switzerland, France. So that's where this wine comes from. So Penelope takes their wine cask and finishes the bourbon in here. So now what we know about rosé is it's not my favorite. Like, I don't really even like it. It's too sweet.
Yes.
It makes me feel like really weird. Actually, the only thing I like about rosé is it reminds me of like Boone's Farm,
Yes.
White Zinfandel.
Strawberry
yeah,
Hill.
and I'm like, whoop, whoop, give me a plastic cup. But I don't particularly like the sweetness of it, so I was a little nervous about this particular bottle that I wouldn't care for it too much. I was a little encouraged by its 94 proof. Like,
Yes.
that made me happy.
And I appreciate that it was aged 4 years.
Yeah.
Like, it's not...
Super young.
Yes.
Tiny young.
Yes.
Tiny
It's still...
young.
It's like on the cusp there, but... Like, I appreciate that they put a little bit longer into it.
I love it. I think...
I haven't tried it on
and I
ice
almost said this to you. We did it neat first. That's my love language. I did it neat before book club, and I almost started talking to Reba about it right then. And I was like, no, we're talking about books now, booze later. So I didn't. But I will tell you what I really like about this one. Do you remember the last episode where we were talking about the Architect, and you asked me what I liked about the Architect? And I said that I really liked its alpha male energy.
Yeah.
That it felt like a really strong, kind of bold, but protective, not threatening
Yes.
drink. This feels like the chick version of that. This feels like that strong kind of alpha
I can
female.
pack a punch if you gonna make me.
Yes. It feels like that alpha female kind of energy that's kind of moving in
I
and
know where
doing
you're
what it
coming
does.
from with that.
And I feel kind of like sexist a little bit saying that, because maybe I feel that way. Maybe that connection was drawn in my brain because it's a rosé
Yeah.
cask. But I don't even give a
And
shit.
it
I don't
has
even
a
care.
pinkish label.
I don't even give a
and-
fuck.
But
I don't even care. I don't even give a fuck why I feel that way. That's the way I feel, and I like it. And it's probably... So when I rank my Penelopes, we know I love them all. Penelope has done nothing that I wouldn't drink over and over again. 2, Penelope 4 grain, like their flagship bourbon, I don't even include that in my ranking because I just can't. I
When's
just
the
can't.
last time you tried the toasted?
Do we have it here?
It's right there.
I guess tonight. I guess that's when it is. I don't know. I don't remember. I really
Okay.
don't remember. But right now,
Yes.
it's the Architect, because I
In
love
order of-
everything. I
yes.
love everything. And the 4 grain flagship, I just don't even consider, because like that's a staple at this point. For me, that falls into the daily drinker category where we wouldn't. So for me, it's Architect and then this one. I
Yeah.
like this better than the Tokay by a lot.
Yes.
Right? And I don't remember particularly we've had the toasted.
Right. That's why I was asking. When
I-
actually, I was asking that based on you saying that you love everything.
I like the toasted fine. I'm never going to say, here's what I know. I am so thrilled with Penelope and what they've managed to accomplish.
Yeah.
That I ain't even mad at it.
Well, no, I guess I wasn't saying that, but
Toasted just pisses me off. Like, all of the toasteds we've ever had pisses me off.
yes,
Because I
Well,
expect
and that's why I
this
said
thing.
I'm trying to remember. Like we talked about it on the last episode. Like, I'm trying to remember if I'm getting it confused with one of the other, maybe like
The Basil Hayden's?
toasted.
Yes.
I may be, and so that's why I said when's
What
the
a
last time we
fucking
tried
disappointment
it.
that was.
Yes,
Such
so
a fucking disappointment.
I was trying to remember. We'll have to
I don't know, but I will tell you.
confirm.
There is a bottle over there. What does that say? Iron Smoke?
Yes.
So that was a bottle that was given to me last week for a graduation present. When I talk about toasted, like, that's what I'm expecting.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm looking for. I don't know that I like it, But I like it enough because I appreciate that it's so different. Like that bottle of Iron Smoke, it is to American whiskey, that smoke, what peat is to Scotch. It is, I don't know, that you may like it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But for me, that's the thing. Like, if you're calling it toasted, give me some shit. Like, give me Glenmorangie Tale of Winter, right? Like, give me something that says something about something instead of some bullshit ass, bland ass.
Something.
It just, Basil Hayden's toasted pissed me off.
Yes.
And maybe because
we were all disappointed.
Maybe because I look so hard for it.
Yeah.
And then maybe because we paid so much for it. And then I was waiting. And maybe,
we have enjoyed
we like
every
Basil
other
Hayden's.
bottle
we love
that we've
Basil
had
Hayden's.
of
We
them.
love Basil Hayden. So with all those things going in, you know what it reminded me of, the disappointment? Eric Church's Jack Daniels.
That was hugely disappointing.
I was so excited.
I took one of my turns in line for that
At a liquor drop. Like we were at a bottle drop, and we're like, oh my God, Eric Church's Jack Daniels.
Gotta try it.
Got to. This has got to be fantastic.
Yeah.
Eric Church is in Bath and Body Works is what this bottle tasted like. Like it was horrible. So mad.
Yes.
It was, I'm like, you don't get to wear aviators and a ball cap at a concert ever again, sir. Like you
Did
got to
we
earn that shit.
finish that bottle?
Oh fuck yeah, I finished all the bottles, but that doesn't mean
No. We have some partially finished.
No, it's
forever,
empty.
but
Tamala has that bottle. Yeah, Tamala's got that one. All right. Okay, so maybe I should tell you guys that we are coming off of a book club of a book that fucking sucked.
yeah, truth.
Did anybody like the book?
No.
We gave it a 2-star.
Kobe-
So
2 stars.
I
I
mean,
gave it a 1.5.
And that was
But it did
generous.
suck.
Yeah.
Generous.
So do yourself a favor and don't bother.
Book club is always fantastic. The book was, and they can't all be bangers, just like whiskey, right? The books can't all be bangers.
yes.
The back cover
This-
was amazing.
Would you call this the most disappointing?
No, Butterfly Effect
Okay,
is still.
thank you.
Like the bar is so.
Yes,
I don't know,
this
Jerry
book was
Springer-
disappointing, but it
the
is
Jerry
not
Springer
the bottom
movie-
one we've had.
The Jerry
Yes.
Springer movie?
Yes.
I've seen it.
Yes.
So, like, if you ask me, is like, this is the worst movie you've ever seen? I'm like, no. I've seen Shark Exorcist. I've seen that movie. So, like, if you ask me if this is the worst movie you've ever seen, I'm going to be like, no. But it's not fair, though, because the bar is in the fucking core of the earth. Like, the bar is real fucking low, right?
This is the lowest rating book we've had to date. But I'm looking over our Goodreads right now, and it is the lowest ranking book, with the exception to that one. Because I don't have that one on my list, because I didn't read it.
Butterfly Effect?
Yeah. That was
So,
before
Butterfly
me.
Effect was the very first book we did.
How we ended up doing
I
this the first time.
me, Silva, and Reba are the only people that actually read it.
Yes.
Yes, and we didn't have a book club, and so we had to reschedule it, and I didn't read that again. There was just no
No.
way I was reading that one again, so no.
So it's my book club. So I read that nasty fucker 3 times because it was supposed to be a book club, then it wasn't a book club, then it was supposed to be a book club, then it wasn't a book club, then it really was a book club, and I felt a duty and a response. I will never do that shit again. Like this book right here. So the book this month was Georgia Bottoms.
Yes.
By Mark
Childress.
Childress. I'm not even getting into it.
No.
Like we already did.
Yes.
Let me put it this way. Mark Childress does not drink Penelope. And if he did, he might do a little bit better.
He drinks Eric Church.
Oh, Lord Jesus. This is going to be like the Bradshaw episode where I'm going to be like editing it going, should I really put this out in the world? And the answer is yes. The answer is yes. Oh, because I don't know if I told you guys. That was one of the things that happened when I was editing the New Year's Eve episode when we were all hanging out, and it ended up being 2 because it went on for so long.
What?
And when I'm listening to it, I'm like, is this even what we do? Like, is anybody even going to care? And like, maybe I shouldn't. But then how many people have their people And when we're old and we can't remember, or when one of us is gone, like, how many people have that they can go back, turn it on, listen to it again, and be like, those are my motherfuckers, right? Like, that's what we have.
And so now that you just said that, all of your raw material needs to be put in a folder that can be shared with the group. So that way we can reflect on, because let me tell you, there's a lot of shit that doesn't make it in there.
Oh, there's a lot.
And how fun is that?
Like Kiana's phone call.
Yes. We're not. Yes. But yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yes. So it's all there. I have it all. Like, but I was like, how many people have that? We do. And maybe that's what I love about the Penelope story, was like, this guy has his friends and he's like, hey, I'm going to go do this tour of this distillery. Do you want to go? One dude goes, I got to check with my wife. The other dude goes, I'm in. And so the guy that says I'm in is the one that goes, because that's how it worked out. And now they've sold their shit to MGP for like hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yes.
And it's named
in a
after
short
his daughter.
amount of time.
And it's named after his daughter. Like, I just love everything about that. So anyway, the rosé cask is beautiful. I really do think, like, if I had a groom suit and a wedding dress, I would put the groom suit on the architect, and I would put the bride gown on
the rosé.
On the rosé, and I think it's fantastic.
So based on flavor profiles, I don't know that I can choose necessarily between the rosé and the 4 grain as my top versus second.
But you don't have to.
Well,
because
no,
put
because
put the 4 grain out. I don't think.
Well,
we should,
then I guess it's this, because
yeah, then it should. I don't think it's fair. The 4 grain is such a steady.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, it depends on what. Like, honestly, what bottle I'm going for is going to depend on what route I'm on for the evening.
Oh, because of the proof.
Well,
yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
Proof and spice, like the whole
That's
combination of it. Like, if I'm planning on spreading my drinking out, a little bit more, then I'm probably going to go with the 4 grain that's only 80 proof and
Fair.
not as spicy on everything.
If we're going to talk about proof, and I just don't,
Oh, God.
I just feel like
The proof on that one.
I don't even feel compelled. I just want to drink it. We've been talking about the architect for 2 fucking episodes. So I've cracked the seal on this one. It's what I'm going to finish out the episode with. I love this bottle. It's my favorite. I have the architect series build 5. They're on build 6 right now. I'll
So you're
buy
not
that one
tasting
too.
the toasted tonight.
Okay, so Reba.
How about wait? Time
Reba,
out.
Okay, hold on though. I'm going to explain it. Reba says that because the architect comes in at 104 proof, and so once
This one is 94.
Reba insists that before I can move on to the architect, that I need to remind myself about the toasted, and I will. It smells so pretty. Penelope always smells so pretty. You don't. Why does your face look like
Taste that, please.
No, tell me first.
Taste.
Tell
that,
me
please.
first.
No, ma'am.
I love it.
Oh,
You hate
did
it?
we drink the same shit?
Do you hate it? I think it's the finest toasted I've had.
I can love a company, a brand.
Yeah, we've made that. I think that we've made that.
I don't love
Disclaimer.
that bottle.
Really?
I do not.
Really?
I'm going to be honest.
I am shocked.
I'm going to be honest and say that I have a hard time even
God, you're
fully
gonna-
confidently saying that I like it.
I know why. You are so sensitive to the smoke. You are so, like, it's why you don't like scotch.
I know that I don't like smokiness, but
Which is so super fun because it actually brings us to because I told everybody that we were doing this studio audience kind of thing and like, do you have any questions? And Phil Gerbishak, who has been a friend of mine for decades, had a question. And this is what he said. He said, I have about 75 bottles at home. I love the tastes, but can't taste the flavors others can. Help me taste them. So if you're talking about like inviting me over to your house and like helping you taste them, totally,
yeah,
like I'm there.
$75. Shit,
Girl,
we're camping out.
I'm in. Like I'm in. Line
We
them up.
need some time.
Set them up, Joe. I'm walking the floor. How's that go? Isn't that right?
Yeah.
So, but what I think he's asking is like, how do I
The flavor
get to the point-
profile.
the flavor profile.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of ways. But there's a couple of ways. One, fuck everybody else. That's my favorite way. My favorite way is fuck everybody else, right? Like, there's going to be people out there, and here's the real truth. You can't be in their brain, right? So you don't know if they're telling the truth.
Don't know if it's the same batch or if their batches
but
vary.
Before that, you don't know if they're telling the truth. You don't know if they're just sitting there.
We
talking
have read
to their
that
friends,
some that are full of complete
and they're just
shit.
All they're trying to do is make themselves relevant, right? All they're trying to do is like talk about their elevated palate so that they can make themselves feel like their love of whiskey is this elevated thing that makes them just not a dude that likes to like feel a little buzzed on a Friday night.
Yes.
Like, and that's fine. Like, if you need something that justifies your love of whiskey, fine.
Yes.
That's not what I need.
We've kind of got to the point where that has become a joke.
It's an absolute joke.
Yes.
Like, my mortgage is paid, my children are fine, their college bills are paid, like, they all have cars, like, we're good. Like,
And we
we're
don't
good.
break it down like that
And
either.
we don't, and it's
like,
and if I can taste it, I'll tell you that I taste it. If I don't taste it, I don't care.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't necessarily believe that you tasted peanut butter and jelly. In
Peanut
Buffalo
butter jelly
fucking
time,
Trace.
peanut
I
butter
really
jelly
don't believe
time.
that you tasted peanut butter and jelly in Buffalo Trace,
Right.
Mr. Whiskey Reviewer Man.
Yes.
Like, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
So
we have read some off the wall.
my first answer to that question is, when I feel like I can't taste what other people think they can taste, I'm going to tell you that I don't even know that they're telling the truth.
Right.
So don't let that get to you.
Yes.
Don't let it get to you. Second, if you are a picky eater, you are going to have a harder time finding flavors in a bottle
Yes.
because you have no frame of reference for it.
Right.
If
You've
you-
already limited your flavor profile.
Correct.
So you don't have. Yeah.
What is it?
Smelling it.
She just asked me to smell.
Siobhan, lean in, tell me.
She just asked me to smell the architect.
And?
I think it riddled my senses and cleared my
You
ear
smell it?
infection.
And this is for the guy asking. I was just smelling it, and I just told her it smells like honey to me.
But Tamala, are you typically a whiskey drinker?
I'm trying to be.
Hey, you came to the right place for trying all.
So your experience with whiskey is what?
I have had Woodford.
Yeah.
Is that a
oh,
whiskey?
that's a great one. Yeah, it's
Beautiful.
a great one.
Okay, and my son, who loves bourbon and whiskey, told me that I should drink the Woodford and I should cut it with Disaronno. And I'm like, how do you cut
Disaronno.
whiskey by adding more
I
alcohol to it?
But
I haven't
Disaronno
tried
is not. But
that
Disaronno
though.
is not a whiskey. But Disaronno is
Oh,
like
it's
an
delicious.
amaretto. It's an amaretto.
Oh,
it's
okay.
an
It's
amaretto.
amazing.
Gotcha.
Oh
together.
no! Are you a coffee drinker?
Yes.
So how do you take your coffee?
Depends.
No, it typically tomorrow
On a daily-
morning on a
Normal, regular in the morning with just black coffee.
Perfect. Tomorrow, when you pour that black coffee in your cup, take that Disaronno and pour a little bit of that shit.
You haven't tried that?
It is
Ooh.
It'll kick it up.
Disaronno.
Kick it up a notch.
Disaronno in my coffee is my favorite coffee additive. I drink my coffee black as well.
Okay.
Disaronno is an
amazing.
amazing. It's fantastic in black coffee. You'll love it. So your narrow whiskey walk just said, "Oh, I'll do 104 proof whiskey," which is a bad idea. We never recommend it.
Welcome to the
We
club.
don't.
We'll
So let me
ruin
tell
it.
you about the architect. The architect, and this is why when we do the podcast, I get all fucked up because it puts me down this like research
Rabbit hole?
thing, and I'm like, this is why we do what we do. So the architect, when they make the architect, because we've already talked about it, they source their whiskey from other places and then they figure out different things they want to do with it to make the product that they want. The architect actually works in collaboration. Remember when I told you that I don't speak French and I was going to mess up another
Yes.
pronunciation? I'm going to do it right now. So they work with a company in France. It's called Tonnellerie Radoux. I don't even know if that's right. I don't even care.
Fuck that shit to hell and back.
Probably.
People are gonna be mad at you.
Probably. Come at me. Come at me. I don't even care. But they work with these people, and they're barrel producers, right? Like, they make the barrels. They have a state-of-the-art system. It is registered trademarked.
Okay.
And it's called OakScan. They no longer have to take random samples and do all this thing where they and guess maybe from this thing, maybe it's this. So they know exactly what they have as far as tannins in their oak before they put their shit in it.
Okay,
Don't
but-
even ask me a question. Do not ask me a question because I cannot answer it. All right, so let's wrap it up. Till next time.
Till next time.
Slam that shit down.
Thanks for hanging out with Ape and Reba on this episode of Bitches and Bourbon.
Make sure to check out the links in the show notes, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Until next time, here's to bad bitches and good bourbon.
I mean, you have to like spicy pickle.